right, Shalom. Salakia. Forgot my garment, but just gonna do it. So, Salakia. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We come in week and week out to prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great, also known as the United Snakes of America. All right. Soon to be destroyed by nuclear fire. And if you can't see World War III all around you, it is being hidden from you. Okay. Our gospel is hidden to them. All right. You're of the ones that don't have the eye salve. All right. We come in and week out to wake up the 12 tribes of Israel, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and Speckled Bird. All right. To get you to repent, acknowledge your offense, pray for forgiveness, and get back in order under the order of the law, statutes, and commandments of this handbook, right? The instruction manual to be the rulers of the earth is what this thing is. All right? All right, so first and foremost, and as always, face the east. All praise is due to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakan Kodash. All right? Double honors to the elder apostle of GMS, including the elder that came before them, that taught us his truth. And shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and its sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. All right? So I'm completely humbled, right? Because, I mean, in this walk, you get, you know, you get the balance of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. A false balance is an abomination to the Most High, all right? And so, you got to take the bad with the good, all right? Because the Most High is both of those things. When you catch in hell, that's the Most High. The Most High sent Satan to test you like he did Job. So that's a good thing. When you catch in hell and you have the understanding that that's the Most High, you're doing well, okay? And when you're doing good, of course, that's the Most High, but what it is, it's the balance, okay? When you're doing good, know that the bad is coming, because you can't have one without the other, all right? There's no one way of doing things. It's all the duality, all right? Balance, all right? And this is what keeps you humble, because you might be doing well, right? You got some things and the Most High is blessing you. Well, blessings are not only good, they're bad. When something bad is happening, it's a blessing. And you have to, the wisdom is to know that, okay? So when you're doing well, good things are happening, you like this, okay, yeah, that's good, but when it's bad, you got to feel the same way. You got to stay right, even keeled in the middle. And when you do that, when the bad comes, hey, it's just time for bad. All right? And it's time to pass that next test that the Most High is bringing, because it's coming no matter what. All right? So, personally, you know, a little testimony, the bad has been there, right? And I want to move forward. I don't want to wallow in what was. You got to move forward. You got to grow in this thing. What does it mean to grow in this thing? Okay, to get the understanding that it's going to be bad. To get the understanding, sometimes it's going to be good, sometimes it's going to be bad. So don't get stuck in a rut. Don't get stuck in a bad cycle, right? All the instructions you need are right here. All right? The instructions for what? The instructions for endurance. Your goal is to endure until the end. How do you do that? Well, when you know that the bad is coming, right? And you deal with the bad, knowing that the good is coming, it's all balance. All right? And that gives you the wherewithal, the stamina, okay, to move forward and endure and grow. Growth is collecting the tools to endure until the end. So basically what I'm saying is, what is the bad? Well, you're going to have demons that are going to come at you. All right? Here's what I know for sure. All right, and I know I'm rambling. I'm going to get to the scriptures. But I know that the elect, because you're the elect, the demons know that you're the elect, and they're going to test you. That's their job. The Most High sent them to test you, like Job. Is Job of the elect? You damn right. Okay, and that's what you want to be. So, if you're walking around with the spirit of the elect on you, them demons are coming, and I'm not saying that I am of the elect. I'm saying that I hope that I am. And this may be an explanation why them demons are just coming. You're like this, why? Why must you be a demon? And what you do with that information is you process it like this. Hey, I might be of the elect. That answers the question right there. Okay? So, and even still, you don't know. But you can have faith, you can speculate and buttress or hedge your bets, so to speak. I'm looking for the right word. But here's how you got to build yourself up. You got to work out your own salvation. You got to build yourself up. And when these bad things happen, they come against you and they try to convince you. It's a demon's job to try to get you out of the truth. Try to convince you that you're not, a man of the Lord, for example. And it happens. You got to laugh it happens so much. So after years and years of being in this thing, then you're like, okay, well, this is what it is. And then you got that, and what's the balance? Then you see signs, right? And I saw a brother, I think it was the brother Kazaki Allah, right, from Mississippi. He said something. He says, and when you get that sign of the Spirit will give you a sign. And I know that there's scriptures against signs, right? And somebody's going to pull it out, right? A wicked and adulterous generation looking for a sign. They're going to pull that, oh, you said sign. Well, that's the way it works. A demon will come up with the scriptures and try to use them against you. But there's always balance, okay? So when you see a sign, right? I'm not looking for a sign, but when one is in front of your face, right? You recognize that it gives you strength. It bolsters your effort. And I mean, I've seen a couple of signs, right? And when it keeps happening, right, then you become more sure. First couple of times, yeah, it's awesome. But when it keeps happening, then you know. And what that is, that's the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Sin in the spirit. Now, what happened? I'll put it like this, because my job at this point is to humble myself, right, and not use that in a negative way. All right, to use it to endure, to use it for that endurance, that fuel for endurance, if you will. All right. So let's just say that the top man in Israel, right? He, for some reason, keeps giving me signs, right? And call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashai, Ba'Shem HaKadosh. I don't know how to explain it, okay? But it lets me know that what I'm doing is right. It lets me know that I have to redouble my efforts. This is not to sit back on your laurels, not to, hey, I'm cool, I can relax. No. All right? Hey, there's a couple of things that you remember, okay? After 14 years, you remember. Here's what you remember. Get your ass out there. That's one. Another one, give me lukewarm. When you hear that, give me lukewarm. I get chills. Give me lukewarm. I remember coming into this, give me lukewarm. Lukewarm used to come out, I'm like, damn. Right? It doesn't bother me as much anymore because I hope and pray that, as an old man in this thing, I'm running my race. Right? When you get the youngsters coming out, you ain't like me, you ain't like, well, I'm not like you. Okay? I'm considerably older than you. So I can't run your race. Stop forcing your race on me. All right? I'm going to run mine. Okay? But then that confirmation that you're doing the right thing comes. What do you do with that? You humble yourself right away. You get back to get your ass out there, hand on the plow. Don't be lukewarm. You understand? We at the end of this thing. All of those things come to you. So you might know what I'm talking about if you do. But I just call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashai Ba'Shem HaKadosh at this moment. All right? So what am I going to speak on today? And, I'm going to speak on where the Spirit takes you. Sometimes you come out with a plan, and sometimes it goes asunder. So let me start, since the diatribe, I'm going to start right here at James. And counting it all joy. Because when something good like that happens, a demon is going to present himself. And I'm quite sure, if I'm not mistaken, that a demon will present himself before this camp is over. If not today, then tomorrow for sure. And that's, that's par for the course. James is hiding from you. James 1:1. I'm going to start at 2. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Okay? So, I can only imagine the patience of the elder apostles. I can only imagine. And then you look to them, right? Now, I don't have to imagine what it feels like to be that old, right, and be in this truth, because I'm that old. But I haven't been doing this half as long as they have. I can't imagine that. I can imagine, let's say 10 years ago, I remember watching the elders, and they had a little more spring in their step. And now I see them, right? And I know I'm going through the same thing. Knees are bad. I'm limping right now. One of my knees is worse than the other, and they're both bad. And so now you see the elders out there just trying to stay up, right? And I see it because I'm going through the same thing. I'm like, it's getting harder, you know? And so that's the example. You understand? That's the example. So, patience, suffering, right? Long suffering. I hope I'm in the picture. So I'm gonna speak on remaining humble, humility, those things, right? That's what's going to get you through this thing, right? As you get older, right? Not that the fight leaves you, but you become smart. It's like that old proverb, if you will, of the two lions, the old lion and the young lion sitting on top of the hill, and all of them female lions are down at the bottom of the hill, right? Those things mean something, right? When you're that old lion, you're like this, hey. You know how to approach situations. And, you know, you got to grow in this thing. So, is there more on that? James 1:4. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. All right? And I'm going to stop right there. All right? I want this to be an uplifting camp. You know, I don't want to be sucked into the abyss and have to deal with it. I want to move forward. I want to grow in a positive format. And I understand that the negative comes with the positive, right? It's coming. But right now, I'm going to enjoy the plus sign, all right? And I'm going to humble myself. I'm going to focus, because this is how you move forward. This is how you grow. I'm going to read, something jumped out at me. This is the book of Proverbs. Now I'm going to read the scriptures. Just teach the scriptures. You remember things, right? This is Proverbs 11. I'm gonna start at 1. This is Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is an abomination to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, but a just weight is his delight. Okay, so we kind of started off right there, and that's the spirit, because I really wanted to read 2, but you look up and down, and the spirit kicks in. All right. Proverbs 11:2. When pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly is wisdom. Okay? Now, apparently I read that in a different version. Okay? I read it in a different version. So let me go to the Bible Hub, that old Bible Hub, which has them all out. So Proverbs 11, bear with me, Salaki.
Search it up. Search it up.
Oh,
Search it up on YouTube.
Oh,
He has a catfish on the beach. On the gutter. Walking in the gutter in the ring.
All right, this is Proverbs 11 and 2 in the NIV. When pride comes, then comes disgrace. And here's what I'm looking for. Here's the point. But with humility comes wisdom. All right? Humbleness, humility. Let me read that again. I'm going to read it slow. This is the NLT. Pride leads to disgrace. But with humility comes wisdom. This is the ESV. Pride leads to disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. Okay, there's humility. This is the ESV. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with the humble is wisdom. So, hey, when that good thing happens, right? What do you do? Okay? Do you gloat? No. You don't gloat. Okay? You go look in the mirror and you assess the situation. Okay? Because you have to use that. You got to use those plus signs for energy. All right? Because that minus sign is coming. And what are you supposed to be doing? Let's go back to it. All right? Proverbs 11. I got to write that in my mental Rolodex, right? Proverbs 11. Proverbs 11 and 1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. So when that good thing happens, you see that sign, like, the Most High is dealing with me, right? You get the goosebumps, and you smile, which a wise man rarely smiles, but you might get one. You got to process that thing, because you got to use that gas, that energy, that fuel, if you will, because here comes that minus is coming, and you got to balance that thing out. Okay, you have to store that plus in your little Tucker bag, right? Because when that minus comes, and there it is, and then you gotta get some of that energy, take some of that plus, and balance out that minus, right? And move forward and grow. Right? And again, I always try to say this lesson, for this camp, whatever the spirit this is, it's all for me first, right? Trying to work out my own salvation. And then hopefully it's edifying to anyone that watches, the elect, hopeful elect. Okay? Because that's what you want to be. And when you are humble in this thing, when you are contrite, people think that is a sign of weakness, and then they try to prey on you, right? And that's okay. All right? Because what they're doing is they're destroying themselves. And if that's your lot, then it is what it is. Don't let it be your lot. Don't fall into that trap. Just remain humble. Because those are the traits. When you get into the fruits of the Spirit, when you get into the beautiful garments of the elect, there's nothing in there about, being an austere man. People take that austere man and you don't understand that. Being an austere man has to do with being humble, right? Basically, is it? Well, you're not going to run all over me. I may look as though you can take advantage of me, but the austere part comes in, but you ain't. You fooled yourself. Your spirit ain't right. Okay? Being an austere man doesn't mean to be out provoking and advancing, being bodacious. That's not what an austere man is. An austere man is even keeled, right? Humble, yet steadfast, right? In this thing. Yasharala. All right, brother. The man's name is Israel. What do you do with that? So, yeah, Salakia again on the garment. I fucked up. I was all excited about getting out here. I'm like, I'm gonna wear the light garment because it's gonna be a little warmer, right? I'm trying to get my attire in order as it's about to get Central Valley hot. So I got to read on. This is Proverbs 11:3. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. So let's take that. Let's take that apart. The first part, how do you read that? The integrity of the upright shall guide them. When you read that, here's what you say. You don't say, that's me. That's me. Right? That's not being humble. What you do is you take that and you say, I want that to be me. I want that to be me. How do I achieve that? How do you achieve integrity? You understand? I can remember being like 30. When I reached 30 years old, which is 28 years ago, I remember my reputation left a lot to be desired. I always had it within me to want to be, a good guy, if you will. But at that time, this is 28 years ago, it wasn't, you hit 30, you look back and you say, I don't want to be that guy that nobody trusts, that, everybody don't want nothing, bad reputation, if you will, right? So you begin to do things that change that. I remember reaching 30 and saying, oh, I gotta, between 30 and 35, I gotta make some changes so that I'm not that guy anymore, right? And I consciously remember, having these thoughts and saying, by 35, I want things to be different. I want to be looked at as being a different guy, if you will. And I achieved those things in that 5 years, but guess what? You can make great progress, and people they still see you. They want to keep you there. They want to keep you as that bad guy. So from 35 to 40, you redouble your efforts. And you continue to weed out the bad. You're transforming yours. This is before I came into the truth. Because as you get older, you're like this. I don't want to be a fuck up all my damn life. What can I do? And it's hard to make changes and to be a stand-up guy, if you will. All right? So I came in the truth, I was like 44. right? And by then, you know, I felt like, you know, I had some integrity. Even though I was still in the world, didn't know anything about the truth, I felt that I had come a long way from the time that I was 28, 29, 30, right? And of course, that whatever was going on was the Most High preparing me to come into the truth. But this word right here, this word, integrity. Nobody wants to be that guy that everybody knows you ain't shit. You don't want to be that guy. So you have to work that guy. You got to work him out of your system. You know? You have to humble yourself. You got to look in the mirror and say, I don't want to be that guy. What can I do? And then you have to take steps to, you know, to overcome that. And part of that, see, being that bad guy, part of that is for protection. No, nobody fuck with me, and I'm this hard. No, you know what? That's a bunch of fucking bullshit. Really, the hardest guy is the bitch, if you will. If you think being austere means to be hard and don't fuck with me, that's not what it means. It doesn't mean that. Okay? Where's the balance in being an austere man? If you're hard, I don't want to use the word soft, but that's the opposite of hard. Where's the middle ground? Now, austere doesn't mean being hard. It means being even keeled. Because that humbleness, see, the instruction, look at old vitiligo. The instruction comes out, right? Back to, well, let's get it. Let's get Colossians. Instead of me talking. Still hanging, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
You got it?
Huh?
You want burrito?
Do I want a
Something?
burrito? What? Oh, do I have a burrito for you? You remember that?
Yeah. Remember it?
Here. Let me,
You got it?
Huh? I remember. No, I don't have one, but here, go get you one.
You remember?
How long? Of course I remember you. How long
Yeah.
ago was that?
You remember me?
Of course. Well, I call you vitiligo. That's the name I have for
You
you.
remember the overtime?
I remember. I used to hand you a
Always,
matrix.
always.
That was my burrito,
One
and I used to have one here. Just take this.
Oh, thank you, my brother. One burrito.
Yeah, you go. Ah, not that. You one of us. You're an Israelite. Okay? All right?
Thank you very much.
Same thing. I've been saying the same thing, going all the way back.
I want to buy one burrito.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
brother. Good to see you, man.
I
Stay
remember
up.
You. ¿Cuánto? How many
many?
years?
12,
Pablo?
13 years now. Yeah.
Oh, esto en el memorial.
On the stage, yeah. Good to see you. Man.
Hey, my God.
All right. All right, brother. You stay up, man. All right, brother.
Good. Thank you very much.
I got you.
Dios esté contigo.
Sí.
Jesús.
Sí. Gracias, brother. Hermano, gracias. Hermano.
Good.
Oh, boy. Oh, vitiligo. Yeah, he's got leprosy. He got leprosy, and see, that goes back. If the spirit that's on you, see, if the guy was a demon, he would have manifested. He goes, "You got a burrito for me?" I'm like, "You remember that?" Because the girl used to make me burritos, And I used to say, well, you got to make one for vitiligo, right? Because he'd be waiting for his burrito. That's funny. Call all Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat Shem. See, that's one of those signs, right? That, Lord willing, I'm doing the right thing. So, and that's humbling, you know. Where was I? Integrity. Woo! I hope we're at the end of this thing. And I know we are, but you got to pray for it. You got to hasten that day. Proverbs 11. Some meat on this bone. We'll read it again. Proverbs 11 and 3. The integrity of the upright shall guide them. Okay? And so there's balance in the whole scripture. That's the plus side. Now I'm going to read the minus side, right? Because this is what you don't want. All right? But the perverseness of transgressors, transgressing what? The laws. Okay? Shall destroy them. Okay? And you got to watch out. See, when you read these scriptures, right? Before you apply these scriptures to somebody else, you got to look and make sure, this doesn't apply to me, does it? You got to make sure that you're right before you judge somebody else. Judge not, lest ye be judged. Okay? So you got to make sure that you're right. And that is having integrity. The way you walk, right? Means everything. It means everything. You want to be a man of integrity, all right? But what does that mean? Now let's go to Colossians. Was I there? I was just there, and then vitiligo walks up. And that's crazy. See, because the old guy, I call them the old guys. When you've been doing this, right? I remember when I was young, I was out there shouting and screaming and thinking that that's what, it meant to be in the truth. And it probably was at that time, But again, you got to grow in this thing. Now, he's like, I remember, and they were all, because when I came out, there was nothing, the word as it is, the truth, the one truth. Nobody had came out and did that in this town before, right? In Central California. So, and a bunch of what they call preachers would use that area, and the Spirit compelled me to go there. So I was different, and that's what they remembered about me is the doctrine that I was bringing out hadn't, and I was a little fiery. I was younger and, just learning. Now, you grow in this thing. Okay, I'm trying to get to Colossians. Okay, and these are the keys. All right, these are the keys to this thing. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna pose a question. Where does being an austere man fall? Because it does. I'm not saying it doesn't. It does. Everything is about balance. All right. Where does being an austere man fall into this? All right. Salaki, give me a moment. All right. This is Colossians 3 and 12. Where does being an austere man, which you are to be an austere man, you're supposed to want to be like the Lord. Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You're supposed to want to be like Yahushua was an austere man. What does that mean? Does it mean that he wasn't this? Is Yahushua of the elect? Of course he is. Colossians 3 and 12. Put on therefore as the elect of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. Okay? Where do you get austere in here? Okay? If you believe that it's being hard and fierce and all of that. Because it does mean those things, but how? How do you balance that? Holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, so like it, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering, forbearing one another, and forgiving another if any man have a quarrel against any, even as Hamashiach forgave you, so also do ye. And above all these things put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. And let the peace of the Most High rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful. Where do you get austere? What is your definition of austere? And how does it fit into that? Because it's in there. Explain it to me. Because in a nigga's mind, all these things means that you're soft. Going to my point. That is being austere. This is being austere. This is one side of it. Then there's another side, and it's called balance. You can't have one side. Austere doesn't mean beating niggas out the temple and whooping ass. It does mean that. Okay? But where's the balance? Here's the balance. Let me read it again. Because a nigga will read this and say, well, that's being soft. Nope. That's being austere. This is the other side of whooping ass. Okay, there's a time to whoop ass. There's a time for whooping ass. Hey, you. So, that's what's being said here. Here's that other side. See, it'll go right over a nigga's head. And see, I'm learning as this thing progresses forward. This is what you want to be. How can you know what you can't? But how can you tell? What are the signs that a man is of the elect? Read it again. Colossians 3 and 12. Put on therefore as the elect of the Most High. That man is going to be acting like this. You're going to see him doing these things. Right? And no, that's not why I went in my wallet and gave vitiligo. I would have did that anyway. Right? That's just who I am. And he's the one that said it. Where's my burrito? I'm like, nigga, I got your burrito. It's just not in foil. You got to go get it. You know? I only had a couple of bucks on me. But that's why. This is spirit. Okay? Put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering, forbearing one another, and forgiving one another, if any man have a quarrel against any, even as Hamashiach forgave you, so also do ye. And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. That is being in us. Is that not Yahushua? Did Yahushua not exude all of these qualities? Of course he did. And he whooped ass. He beat niggas, he made a scourge, and whooped that ass out of the temple. That's the balance. Okay? Now, after years and years and years of being in this thing, right? How do you grow? just being one-sided. Okay. Now let's get beautiful garments. Which is, oh, I forgot. Salakia. This is Isaiah 52 and 1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength. O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments. O Jerusalem, the holy city. For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. All right? You got to wear these clothes, these garments. What is it? That's this truth. And the truth is balance. Okay? The truth is balance. Slock, bear with me. All right, this is Galatians. I'm going to start at 19 because you got to have the balance. All right. So we read what did we read? We read the beautiful garments, which is Colossians. Now these are the fruits of the Spirit. All right. I'm gonna start at 19. Galatians 5 and 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, which is rebellion, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. All right? Now, who will? Okay, that's the one side of the fruits of the Spirit. These are the fruits of the non-spiritual. These are the fruits of the carnal, if you will, of the flesh, the works of the flesh. Galatians 5 and 22. Now we'll get into the other side, right? And again, this is what it means to be an austere man. Okay? But the fruit of the Spirit is love, keeping the commandments, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lust. Okay, so this is what it means to be was Yahushua not an austere man? He didn't have the fruits of the Spirit. When you read this, a nigga, the way we were trained up in Babylon, means that if you exude any of these qualities, you're soft. And they're going to take advantage of you. And if you only had these qualities, they will take advantage. Demons will come and take advantage of you straight away. But what it means to be an austere man is to have all of those and to be able to protect those things. To be able to make a scourge and whoop ass. This is what it means to grow in this thing. Okay? You gotta have both. I gotta have both. I gotta humble myself. All right? I have to exude both sides of being an austere man. We'll read it again, starting from 22, Galatians 5 and 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Okay? You got to balance that with being a soldier, with being fierce, unrelenting, okay? And back to what I started, what this lesson is about, if you will. Here's what I gotta do. When you get that good sign, when you think that the Most High is smiling on you, right? Because you equate with the Most High smiling on you, you equate that with good things, not with the bad. He's smiling on you when he's testing you as well. Okay? And you have to, this is the understanding that it's both. Right? And you have to be meek. Yahushua was meek. until it was time for him to whoop ass. So you gotta have both. You have to have all of that. You gotta be balanced. And so you got people, or brothers, if you will, that only have one, think that, well, if I'm like this, then I'm doing the will of the Most High. No, you gotta have both. So you gotta look vulnerable to be meek, long-suffering and patient and all of those things. You appear to be vulnerable. Doesn't mean that you are. Hey, sometimes you're gonna look vulnerable to a vulture, to a goon, right? He's gonna see you, right, and think that you're prey. And very soon, what he's gonna do is he's gonna launch an attack on you, and you're gonna have that power. And the goon is gone, because he's a goon. You're a goon if you only got one side of this thing and you're out preying on people. You're a goon. Don't be a goon in the truth. Goonie goo goo. Nigga, you're gone. Don't be a goon in the truth. If this was a weekly lesson, I would have called it, don't be a goon in the truth. Okay? There's a time for exuding the fruits of the Spirit and putting on the elect, which is those beautiful garments. Okay? And this is how you get through this thing. This is how you endure until the end. All right? Not by being hard. That's how you lose. Okay? There's an element. Basically, it's protection. You got to protect these good qualities. So you have to be a sentry. You got to be a soldier over here. Right? The angels had that countenance that nobody's going to fuck with. But the angels, right? Just the word angel. Angels whoop ass, right? But they have the qualities of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. He created them to do that. Yahweh Shai is an angel. He's the example. Okay? You got to have both of those. You got to be well-rounded is what they, and that's what it means to have integrity. All right? You don't let nobody fuck with you or run all over you. And anybody that's doing that, first of all, see, when a fool comes up to lay open his folly, what do? You let him do it. Let him do it. Because he's telling you everything you need to know about this person. Because he's opening his mouth. He didn't keep his foot, given the sacrifice of food. If you're quiet, what is that? There's a scripture that says, a fool that keeps his mouth shut. Let me try to find it. Salaki, bear with me. See if I can find it. All right, this is Proverbs 17 and 28. And you don't want to be a fool. You want to be wise. Okay? But this is what this proverb means. Okay? And you got fools out here masquerading as angels of light. But you can't fool the very elect. All right? You can fool some of the people some of the time when you're a fool, but not the elect ever. Proverbs 17:28. Even a fool is counted wise when he holds his peace. When he shuts his lips, he is considered perceptive. You know what? I read the New King James. This is the King James, 16:11. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise, and he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. All right? So, if your mouth is all, you're always running your damn mouth, you're laying open your folly. Right? And I might be guilty. I need to shut the hell up more. I need to hold my peace. And when you read these things, you apply them first. Again, you look in the mirror and say, how does this apply to me? And what can this do what can this do for me so that I can grow in this thing? Right? I should know this. I should know Proverbs 17:28 by heart. You Mexican? You're Mexican? All right. You believe in God? Yeah. God has a chosen people above everybody else, right? And let me ask you this. What color is my skin?
Brown.
What color is your skin?
Yeah.
You're lighter brown than me.
Yeah.
All Mexicanos are brown.
Yeah.
All right? Right? But see, they call me black. They trying to separate us. See that? You see that? We are God's chosen people. You're an Israelite. Your true nationality, you're an Israelite from the tribe of Issachar. And that's what we out here saying.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yep.
That's it. That's all I wanted to say to you. Spirit jumped on me to say that. All right. The brothers. The brothers out here.
How's it going, man?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
All right. You still out? How long you got?
I got till you see me out here till September.
Oh, shit. Stay strong, brother. Stay strong out here. Kwam Yasharala. Kwam means rise. What does Yasharala mean? What's your name? Yasharala means Israel. Kwam Yasharala. All right. This is 1 Peter 5:6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time. Do what? Humble yourself. When that scripture comes out, pull out a mirror. Humble yourself. Are you humbling yourself? How do you exalt yourself? This is an instruction on how to become exalted, if you see it that way. Okay? How do you exalt yourself? Well, humble yourself. That's what it's saying. 1 Peter 5 and 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time. In due time. Being patient. Now, are you looking to be exalted? No. It happens as a result of following instructions, being humble, being meek, contrite. Then turn around and guess what? A sign comes that you're doing the right thing. And it's worth it. Okay? It's worth it that it happens that way instead of, because when you exalt yourself, that's not exaltation. You're not being exalted. You're heaping hot coals on your head. You're doing it all wrong. You're going about it all wrong. You put your head down, right, in the face of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You bow your head in humbleness and in humility. You pray for forgiveness and mercy. And again, this goes out to me first. And then when you look and you strive, you plow with both hands, then you look up and you see a sign, okay? Like vitiligo coming by. And that whole little interaction, right? Sometimes Gilbert will come by with his crazy ass lawyer. I remember having those first initial arguments with them because they came against me. Him, Chief, they all came against me. What are you talking about? No, you can't come out here raising your voice and saying that God only loves Israel, and it was crazy back then. And what Gilbert says today, because he came up, he's all philosophical and lawyer, knows the law, and he got something to say. And the chief was a Gadite. Vitiligo, Issacharite, I believe, and Gilbert's an Issacharite. These are the old guys, right? And Gilbert comes out and he says he's probably going to come by on his bike. He's got a chopper. You're the last of the Mohicans. You've been doing this. All of these, accolades, if you will. You've been here, man. You're the. And he goes on about, whatever. It's kind of, I don't even know what to say at this point. It is what it is, but, and you take little things like that for granted. Those are just the old guys, right, who know, what it was like 14 years ago. If I can't even count anymore. Let's say 13, let's say 12, it doesn't matter. But it's a long time ago. Okay, so I read 6, but what I didn't do, I tried to go around it, but the Spirit is on me to read 5. Okay, and I'm not reading it for any specific reason, but it belongs in there. So I'm going to read 5 and then I'm going to read 6 again. Okay, I'm going to read down to 8. All right, so this is 1 Peter 5 and 5. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you, be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. Here's how it works. Okay? And then there's order. There's order in there. Okay? But here's how things work. This is there's instruction in here. And it's balanced. I read the part about the elder, and people got a problem. They cringe. But the other part is in there too. The balance is in there. Let me read the whole thing. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you, be subject one to another. That already included everybody. And be clothed with humility. Listen to all the instructions in there. For the Most High resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. Okay? Humble yourselves, therefore, under the hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time. All right? So it's talking about everybody. It's talking about the younger. It's talking about the older. It says all of you. Okay? It speaks on the younger. Younger, submit yourselves to the elder. Yea, all of you, meaning young and old. All right? And you're supposed to perceive that in the spirit. All right? For the Most High resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time. Casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, not your adversary, your brother, your adversary, the devil, okay? Know who your enemies are. Your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. All right? Hey, we're at the end here. This devil hath but a short time. So what is he doing? Let's get there. What is he doing? We're at the end, man. Say like, this is, I suspect this is how the elder apostle Gabar was. We're at the end, man. We're at the end, man. 12 and 12. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Back to 1 Peter. Be sober, 1 Peter 5 and 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. That's the same as coming down unto you. He walketh about as a roaring lion. That's precept upon precept. We're at the end. He knows that his time is up. The men of the Lord done stood up. All right? Some of us been out here long enough to, I remember you, where's my burrito? You understand? It's crazy. And we're hastening today. What manner of persons ought ye to be? Looking for and hasting. It's lucky. Really gotta pee. It's lucky. Let me look at this. I think I might be able to muster it. A few more minutes before I gotta go pee. Titus 3 and 1. Put them in mind to be subject to principalities and powers, to obey magistrates, to be ready to every good work, to speak evil of no man, to be no brawlers, but gentle, showing all meekness unto all men. For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving diverse lusts and pleasures, living in malice and envy, hateful, and hating one another. All right? Hey, you gotta grow in this thing. You gotta grow in it. You have to, and my point, okay? See, these guys are coming up after years and years, and they're saying it, not me. How long ago was it? I'm like, you know, I'm out here tired. It was a long time ago. Have you grown? You say, I hope I have. Lord willing. Okay, and how do you grow? Well, you come in as a young Spartan, right? And you want to attack everybody. Got a fight out here or whatever. No brawlers. You grow towards the fruits of the Spirit and the beautiful garments of the elect. You go full circle. Fully balanced in this thing. That's what's going to get you through. What's going to get you through this thing is following instructions. Okay? And part of those instructions are the other side of being this hardened warrior. That's part of it. Okay, but guess what? As hard as you are a warrior, some of you carrying guns out here and thinking that that's the way. No, that's not the way. Because Esau got you. He got you in the gun department. He got you in the killing, murder, soldier of fortune, if you will. All right? Our weapons of warfare are not carnal. What then? How do you win? How do you ensure that they that are with us be more than they that be with you? How do you make sure that the angels are on your side? Okay? By taking heed to the instructions that are in here. And they are what? Appearing to be soft. You got to appear to be soft. Yahushua probably appeared to be, he was an austere man, but he was doing these things. He was being meek and humble and contrite. And a nigga, a demon, hones in on them. I'm a wolf, you're a sheep, here I come. And then here's that spiritual power. And you're an idiot. Don't be an idiot. Be wise. I gotta look it up. Shame on me. I'm just old, that's what it is. That ain't coming up. The book of Matthew 10 and 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Okay? That's Yahweh Shai. Wise as a serpent. Hey, Quetzalcoatl. All right? Plumed serpent. All right? Quetzalcoatl, Kukulkan. Who is Kukulkan? Kukulkan. Kukulkan is Yahweh Shai. Depicted as a serpent. Quetzalcoatl. It's Yahweh Shai depicted as a serpent. Wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Yahweh Shai is like this. What, nigga, you running up? I can make you shit in your pants before you throw the first blow. Not worried about that. Okay, and that's what we want to aspire to. We're gonna do the works of Yahweh Shai and greater. How do you achieve that? Well, you gotta be like Yahweh Shai. Wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. You gotta grow in this thing. You have to achieve perfection by taking heed to the instruction. Okay? Me first. And then, hopefully, within the lesson, the Spirit is in the lesson and coming forth like a beacon. This is Proverbs 29 and 23. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. All right? That word humble just keeps coming up over and over. What does it mean? Let's get the definition of humble. It's a random definition. All right, this is Oxford Languages Dictionary definition. Having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's own importance. That's it. The other ones don't really apply. Let's read that again. Humble. Oxford Languages definition. Having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's own importance. Okay? So, Mike the Christian on Rethinking the Dollar. Spirit jumped on me to go and call him and speak on the chariots. And, you know, I didn't think nothing of it. And then suddenly, all three of the, well, there's 4 elder apostles, but 3 of them made a video and the elder apostle Tahar says, he goes, Yeah, and the brother, he was saying good things, you know, which is always great. This is one of those signs. He goes, the brother, I don't know what he calls himself. Apostle, elder. I don't know what he calls himself. I'm like this. I answer, I'm like, I'm the brother Yashawan. Okay. I learned everything that I know now, right? Which is my measure, and I'm happy with that. Okay? Because I know who I am and who I've always been, like in the world and my job. It's real easy to misconstrue that somehow I would be proud, arrogant, or whatever. I'm in my family, I come from a musical background, and in this particular town, my dad is he's kind of legendary, right? He blows the horn, saxes, and he's kind of legendary. So I had to grow up, you know, under that. And you, of course, you try to, as a young man, you try to be like your father, right? And I have brothers, and when we were kids, we wanted to be the Jackson 5 and the whole thing. So, and then my mom, who was against it, she worked for the Employment Development Department, and so being a musician wasn't a job. That's not a job. So I've heard that all my life, and know how to navigate. When somebody comes up to say that playing the guitar ain't a job, and I'm like, I know what all of that means, right? So I can recognize when somebody's trying to use that. I'm like, okay, I get it. I see where you're coming from. I understand you more than you know. So, I mean, I've pretty much been doing that all my life, and it turns into your occupation, not your job, but your career, your profession. Okay? And to this day, right? But it doesn't mean anything. To a man of the Lord, if you are actually a man of the Lord, none of that means nothing. It is, you got to go to work. You got to put food on the table. You got to do your part, right? And I understand where somebody can, you know, see me, if you will, and try to equate that with pride and with, you know, not having your priorities in order and the whole thing. But I also know when somebody is using that to exalt themselves or whatever. And so and what I'm saying is there is a humility or a humbleness that you learn being in this profession, right? You just learn how to, you know, how not to be proud, if you will. And if it seems as though I'm proud, it's not because I'm not working on it, right? But it is what it is, right? And all of that is of the world, but you learn certain things. Like when I went to the service, I learned things that you apply now, right? In this walk, I see brothers, right? The brother Barack, in LA, the elder brother, right? the brother Samak down in Miami, the elder brother Malcolm. These men have been to the service, this man's army or whatever you want to call it, and have gained things, have gained insight, and have certain skill sets as a result of that, and that's not a bad thing. So to try to use that to attack somebody with, because that's what you did once upon a time, and you still draw upon those experiences to move forward in this walk. For somebody to try to take that and use it against you is malicious. You know? And again, I don't want to get into, what I'm saying is, look, hey, if you're a man of the Lord, you take those things, right? And you humble yourself. People walk up to me, my daughter, who is now 13, has come to know that wherever we go, we'll go out to eat. We'll be walking down, we'll be at the zoo or whatever. We'll be at the mall. I'm shopping for shoes. I got to get my daughter's shoes. And people will walk up and say, hey, I know you, or say, hey, where are you working or playing, whatever you want to call it. And it happens a lot, right? And I'm used to it. It happened to my dad. They used to come up, hey, they see my dad and want to talk to him. And we're walking. I grew up the same way. And then they'd speak to me, yo, daddy bad on that horn. Yo, daddy bad on that horn. That kind of thing. So, and my dad, right, being the legendary, you know, whatever you want to call it, rock star, whatever, has always, he showed me how to be humble. That dude is so humble, right? And his name, he's well known to be that guy. And he's always been nothing but humble, right? And you learn those. You learn how to walk like that. So when somebody comes up and tries to say, oh, you proud, you think that, and try to use that against you, right? See it, I know it so well, right? And that's not who I am. If you know me, you know that that's not who I am. Okay? Because that's not how you grow. You learn in music, you learn early on that to be proud, right, is to stifle your growth. You can't grow. If you think you've arrived and you've made it and all of that, you're done growing. So you don't do that. You don't cut off your foot. You learn more things. You learn different instruments. You learn different genres. I was playing cumbias last night, right? And have been for years. It's just something different. Then you get the call from Ishikar, hey, can you come and play some cumbias, some Tejano? You're like, yeah, it's pretty easy actually. But that's from, not being, you don't get the call if you're difficult to work with or for or whatever, And I'm just saying, I'm sure a lot of people see me as being prideful, which, again, if they knew me, they'd take advantage of me because I'm this soft guy, and, oh, well, he's a pushover type of thing. And some people think the opposite. Oh, he's too hard on, and there's that balance, right? And got to go to work, and that's what that is. But I'm just using it as, got to humble yourself in this thing. I got to humble myself in this thing. because it works, right? Let me get one more. I want to get that word contrite. This is Psalm 34 and 18. The Lord is nigh unto them that, and that word nigh means close. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. Aren't we trying, isn't our goal to be saved? To be caught up in a chariot? Well, the Most High is looking for that contrite spirit. Is that you? And I'm asking myself in the mirror, you gotta get yourself in order there, buddy, and stop playing games and stop being led into, unhealthy behavior, if you will. And that's on me. It's on me to do that. Recognize, look in the mirror. Oh, you're tripping. You're not doing these things. You got to do these things. Let me read that again. Because the word salvation is in here. Okay, this is Psalm 34 and 18. We're going to close. All right. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, meaning your mind, right? You have submitted yourself to the correct instruction and teaching of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and saveth, there's that word salvation, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. All right? Now let's look up that word contrite. Slock, bear with me. All right, this is Oxford Languages Dictionary definition. Contrite. Feeling or expressing remorse or penitence affected by guilt. Okay, and we're guilty. We're guilty. Right? All the wickedness you did before you came in, that demon that was on you before you came into the truth, you got to repent. You have to pray for forgiveness, right? And mercy from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We're guilty. You have to acknowledge your offense. How do you acknowledge your offense? I'm guilty of being wicked, and I need mercy from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That is a contrite spirit. You got to mean that. The Most High knows. Most High know your heart, right? Which is your mind. So you're not fooling. I'm not fooling nobody. All right? Got to examine yourselves out here. I got to examine myself every day. Every day you look in the mirror, you're brushing your teeth, you got to examine yourself. All right, so with that, this is, and I pray that this camp was edifying to the hopeful elect. You brothers and few sisters out there. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. And this is the closer. It's the opener and the closer, if you will. Philippians 2:12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more, in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. For it is the Most High which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. Do all things without murmurings and disputings, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world. All right, so with that, we'll say, Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Makakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and its sincerity. The hopeful elect tabernacle of David, all right? Shalom.